तो ऐसी कई लीलाएं होती हैं कि जिनमें
Many such leelas
उपासक को
happen where a
सहन करना
devotee
पड़ता
has
है।
to
तो
tolerate.
जो
So the
महाराष्ट्र के महात्मा
Brahmin
जो
from
श्रद्धा करते थे
Maharashtra had
अब
faith in
सहन करने
Chaitanya
के उसके हाथ
Mahaprabhu
रुक चुके थे।
and was reaching
महाप्रभु
his
के
limit
कंठन
of
के विषय की
tolerance.
ये
He
बात
could not tolerate
जो
when
जहाँ तक भी होंगे
Prakashanand
तो उनके मन में आप
would
कुछ
say
भी हो,
harsh words
प्राणों
about
की
Chaitanya
बाजी लगाकर
Mahaprabhu.
दोनों महापुरुषों
And he
को
thought, regardless
मिलाएंगे
of what happens,
और
I
फिर
will
बात
make these two
प्रकाशानंद
great
जी का जो
personalities meet
स्वभाव
and will transform
ये बात
Prakashanand.
समझ में नहीं आती।
This jealousy is
सच्ची
difficult to
कहते हैं बिना
understand,
गुरु कृपा के नहीं
and
निकलती।
it cannot be removed
ये मान
unless you have the
प्रतिष्ठा
mercy of your Guru.
ईर्ष्या द्वेष बहुत
This desire
सूक्ष्म
for
है,
honor, fame, and
बहुत
respect
सूक्ष्म
is
है,
very subtle.
बहुत
It is very
भयावने
deep,
हैं, बहुत ही
scary,
गंदी
and
है,
dangerous
बड़ा भारी
because it
अपराध
can make
करा
you
देती है।
commit
सच्ची आपसे कहते हैं,
a great offense.
मतलब
This
साधना
is
में
the
कोई
truth.
कमी नहीं, बहुत अच्छे साधक,
Prakashananda
बहुत
ji
अच्छे ज्ञानी, बहुत
had
अच्छे
no
महात्मा,
lapse in
लेकिन
his
ये
sadhana,
ईर्ष्या
in his
द्वेष
spiritual
नष्ट कर
practice. He
देता
was a
है अपने
very
स्वभाव
good
को। अपने
jnani,
बड़ों में तो फिर और क्या,
knowledgeable,
लेकिन
and a very good
जिसने
Mahatma.
अपने अहम
But
को
this
प्रभु के
jealousy
चरणों में
destroys even
समर्पित
great
करके नाम
personalities.
जप शुरू किया,
Imagine
तो
if
ये
it can
सब
affect such
नष्ट हो
personalities,
जाता है,
what
पक्का
about
नष्ट हो
us?
जाता है।
But one who surrenders
इसीलिए
his false ego to the Lord
चाहे जितना
and
ज्ञान हो
chants his
जाए
name,
लेकिन
then
नाम
this
जप नहीं
false ego
छोड़नी
is destroyed for
चाहिए।
sure. Therefore,
हरिश्चंद्र
it does
गुरु
not
के
matter
शरणों
how
में
much
शरण
knowledge you accumulate, you
बहुत
should
सुंदर
never
नियम
stop chanting.
जो
Even
पूरे
Sarak
जीवन
and
की
others
संतों की
always
शास्त्रों
chant
की
Hari
बातों
Sharanam,
मान
Hari
करके
Sharanam.
नाम
I
जब
am
बदल
telling you the
चलता
essence
रहा
of the scriptures
तो
and the
बाजी
words of
जीत
the
जाओगे
saints.
नहीं, ऐसे
If
ऐसे
you are
दोष हैं,
constantly
बहुत
chanting, then you
प्रायश्चित
can win
पटक
this
देते
game.
हैं। देखो
Otherwise, there are
ब्रह्मा
such
जी ने ब्रह्म
vices that
स्तुति
can
में
make you
कहा
fall down even
कि
after you reach
प्रभु
great heights.
हमने बड़े बड़े
Lord
साधनों को
Brahma has
करने
said
वालों को ऊपर जाके
that
नीचे
when he
गिरते
was
हुए
praising
देखा है।
Krishna
गिरते
after
ब्रह्मा
stealing the
के
cowherd
साथ देख
boys,
रहे
that
हैं
I
ना,
have seen
हम
great
ऊंचे हैं और कोई
personalities
साधन पकड़ के
fall
आगे
down
चल
even
रहा
after
है। ये
reaching
तो
great
आपके
heights
चरणों
because
की
Brahmaji
धूल
is
है,
seeing
इसी
everything, and
कृष्ण
that is
चरणों
why
की
he
धूल
asked for
है।
attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord and no other spiritual
अब
practice. That is what he told Krishna.
उन
The
ब्राह्मण के
Brahmana
हृदय में
from
आया
Maharashtra
कि अपनी प्रतिष्ठा,
thought
अपनी
that
प्रशंसा का भोग करने
Prakashananda
इसीलिए
ji
महाप्रभु के
is
निंदा
becoming the
करते हैं।
enjoyer of his
जो अपने
fame,
में गुणाभिमान
and
हो
that
जाता
is
है फिर
why
दूसरे
he
की
is
निंदा करने
criticizing
में बहुत
Chaitanya
अच्छा लगता है।
Mahaprabhu. When you see good
दूसरे
in
के
yourself,
गुण अच्छे
then
नहीं
you
लगते।
like to criticize
लोक
others
इच्छा
when you develop that pride.
कितनी प्रबल
This
होती है,
desire for prestige is so strong. And then the
ये देख
Brahmana
करके
went
गए
to the lotus
महाप्रभु
feet of
चैतन्य
Chaitanya
देव के
Mahaprabhu.
चरणों में बैठे
He
और
said, I have a desire that you should go to the monastery
आप
of
मत छोड़ो,
Prakashanand ji. One
दर्शन
time,
हो जाएंगे।
you can get his
समागम
darshan
है
and get the association of saints.
महाप्रभु ने
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
कहा,
says that
वहाँ वाद
there is a
विवाद
chance of
की
debate
शोभा
there, so I would not want to go there. He
कहा,
said, I
हम
cannot even
आपसे
tell
बता
you
नहीं
the kind of
रहे, आपके
accusations
लिए क्या हो रही
Prakashanand
है।
was throwing at
कहते
you.
थे
He said that
उनकी
nobody
भक्ति
would
को
even
काशी
give
में
2
कोई
cents
दो
for your
कौड़ी का
bhakti in
नहीं
the land
पूछेगा,
of
2
Kashi,
कौड़ी भी नहीं
not even
पूछेगा।
2 cents. Chaitanya
तो
Mahaprabhu
महाप्रभु
said,
ने
I
कहा,
am a
हम तो
sannyasi. What
सन्यासी
do
हैं,
I have to
हमको
do with
किसी
2
क्या करना
cents?
है,
Will he take it
हमें
for
कौड़ी
free?
की
I will give it
मुफ्त
to him
देगा
for
कोई,
free.
हम
I have
मुफ्त
not come
देंगे,
to sell it.
हम
We won't
लेने
sell
ही
our
नहीं आए,
bhakti for
हम अपनी भक्ति को
pennies.
2 कौड़ी
We
में
have no
बेचने
need
नहीं
for
आए।
money.
हमें
We
कौड़ी
are a
की क्या जरूरत, हम
sannyasi.
तो
We are
सन्यासी
just
हैं। तो
mendicants.
वैसे ही हमको
But I will
भक्ति
give it to him for free. For
पर
free
हम
for
देंगे
sure.
जाएंगे, फ्री
Now
नहीं
I will
जाएंगे।
not just leave.
अब ऐसे
And
नहीं
that is
जाएंगे।
why the devotee
ये
had
बात
shared these things to encourage
बस बोला
Mahaprabhu to
भी
meet
इसीलिए
him.
था कि थोड़ा महाप्रभु
Mahaprabhu
जो है,
said, now I will give it to him for
बोले
free.
अब तो फ्री
And
देके
I will
जाएंगे।
give it to him in such a way that he will drown
अब
in this
ऐसा
mood.
देके जाएंगे कि फिर इसी
Mahaprabhu
में
decided firmly internally
हट कर
that he will transform
बदल से
Prakashanand.
प्रकाशानंद जी के बदलने
I
में
offer my
प्रणाम
respects
करते
to that
हो।
Vaishnava Brahmin because of
वैष्णव
who
ब्राह्मण को जिसने
Prakashanand ji was
प्रकाशानंद जी
uplifted.
का उद्धार
Otherwise,
करवाया,
how bitter was
नहीं
his
कैसा
knowledge? It was so
ज्ञान
bitter.
कड़ुआ,
For the avatar of the embodiment of love, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was using harsh words.
उच्छृंखल शब्दों का
The
प्रयोग करना।
Brahmin from Maharashtra started to dance, and he said, My Lord Prakashananda ji is blessed. I understand now that you will bless him. Now I understand he will be uplifted for sure. You see, until now, his upliftment was not guaranteed, even though he was such a great jnani, had accumulated so much scriptural knowledge, a Mahatma, but his ultimate well-being was not guaranteed, and in fact he would have faced degradation for sure because he was criticizing such a great soul. See, Jay and Vijay had to become demons for 3 births because they stopped Sanak and others in Vaikuntha. So imagine what would happen to Prakashananda. Even if he had criticized Mahaprabhu a little bit, he would face degradation because Mahaprabhu is an avatar of the embodiment of love. You cannot even criticize a normal devotee, so this would have definitely led to his downfall. The Brahmana thought, now how should the two come face to face, Mahaprabhu and Prakashanand? Prakashanand is very stubborn, hard-hearted, and proud of his knowledge. But if he comes face to face once with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will be transformed. But he will not come here for sure. But Mahaprabhu is very merciful. He can go there. He was contemplating like this, and then Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar ji, who were one of the few close associates of Mahaprabhu in Kashi, that were familiar with Mahaprabhu in Kashi, they said, why are you worried? Please tell us. The Brahmana said, how can we take Mahaprabhu to meet Prakashanand? Tapan Mishra ji said, you are wealthy. Why don't you arrange an association of the saints at the monastery of Prakashananda? You have wealthy, you do these sorts of things, so you can arrange such a gathering, and you yourself should invite Mahaprabhu personally yourself and tell him that at Prakashananda's ashram there's a huge association of saints, and then there'll be prasad after that. Request him like that, and then we will all support you, and he will come for sure. He will not turn down our request, he will go for sure. When the Maharashtra Brahmin heard this, he was very pleased, and he said, yes, I'm ready to do whatever is required. All this belongs to Mahaprabhu. He said, yes, you just take the responsibility of bringing Mahaprabhu and I will do the rest. Then Tapan Mishra said, we will be able to do this, meaning that we will just grab onto Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and then he will come for sure. So do not worry. The Brahmana was very wealthy, and at that time he spent thousands of rupees at that time. At that time that was a lot of money. And he made some very nice arrangements and invited all the saints from Kashi, from the various ashrams of Kashi, all the well-known people, the heads of the various monasteries and ashrams, all people in important positions were invited. And all the heads of the various ashrams came with their disciples. Huge mattresses, a seating arrangement had been made with mattresses and pillows. And the arrangements were very nice, and the heads of the ashrams and the leading saints were seated on those mattresses. And a lot of people who had strong knowledge of the Vedanta, including the disciples of Prakashananda, who were extremely intelligent, were present, and a lot of deep philosophical topics were being discussed, like Shankar Bhasya, the impersonal Brahm, heavy academic discussions. Deep philosophical discussions were going on, and Prakashanandaji was seated in the midst of the gathering on the throne. He was effulgent and looked like Goddess Saraswati herself was seated as a sannyasi, because he was extremely intelligent, but surprising, and even at the height of education he had such nature to criticize devotees. That is why
तभी भगवान कहते माँ में प्रपद्यन्ते माया में ताम तरन्ति दंड लिए हुए.
With his stick, he looked like Brahma himself, filled with knowledge and surrounded by seniors and elderly people on all sides, all the sannyasis. And now the Maharashtra Brahmin went to Mahaprabhu and told him that now you will have to come to the gathering, everybody is waiting for you. Prakashananda and others. And Mahaprabhu said, oh brother, I don't like to go amongst these great personalities. What will I do there? I am not qualified. If you so desire, just give me some prasad as alms, and I will just have it here. Now they had planned all this from before. So the others who were present, they grabbed onto Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and pleaded with him to go to the ashram of Prakashananda. Maharashtra Brahmin said, Mahaprabhu, this is no ordinary gathering. My whole arrangement is for one special purpose. If you do not go, then my goal will be unfulfilled. You will have to come, otherwise everything I have done will be a waste. O Lord, please be merciful on this fallen person. Please come once. Please come and do not say no. He started to cry, and all the devotees said, Prabhu, this is only to go to a gathering of saints, so please come. The Lord said, okay, as Sri Krishna desires. Now the devotees and the Maharashtra Brahmin were elated, Tapan Mishra and others, and they were thinking that now Prakashananda will be blessed. See how the heart of devotees is. And around this time, Sanatan Goswami Ji was also present in Kashi. We have heard of his pastime previously. So Mahaprabhu put his hand on Sanatan Goswami's shoulder, and along with Chandrasekhar, Tapan Mishra and this Brahmin reached the gathering of saints. As soon as he reached the gathering, Mahaprabhu removed his hand from the shoulder of Sanatan Goswami and folded his hands, and he was looking like a very humble person with his hands folded and his head bowed down. Some of the servants of the Maharashtra Brahmin came forward to wash the Lord's feet, but he stepped back and said, no, no. But there is an etiquette to wash the feet, so he just took some drops of water and sprinkled them on his own feet, but he did not let anybody else touch his feet. Extremely humble. And the place where everybody's feet were washed and muddy water had collected because of the washing, he just sat right there. Everybody else was situated higher up on the stage on mattresses and pillows, and Prakashananda Ji was on a throne in the midst of them like a lion. Now the disciples of Prakashanand and the other academics of Kashi who were anxious to defeat Mahaprabhu in a debate of Vedanta lost their minds just by these actions of Mahaprabhu. They were taken aback, and their pride of having a debate on the scriptures was shattered right at the first activity of Mahaprabhu because of his humility. Just by Mahaprabhu's entry, his first gesture destroyed the pride of all these people who were collected there. He was sitting right where people's feet were washed. People were amazed at the beauty and effulgence of Mahaprabhu and his humility. They had never seen anything like this before. The Lord's body was very delicate and very attractive. Even Dhruv Ji, who is in our tradition, has written,
गौड़ देश सब उद्धर्यो प्रकट कृष्ण चैतन्य तैसे नित्यानंद हु रस में भयनंद पावत ही तिनको दरस उपजय भजनानंद बिन ही श्रम छुट जाए सब जे माया के फन. एकदम
his lips were just like rose petals. His eyes were like lotus flower, with a shaved head and wearing saffron clothes, a reddish and effulgent face. He was not looking at anybody. His eyes were looking down. All the seniors were talking or discussing with each other. With gestures, they were all amazed. What is this? We had heard so many glories, and he does not even have a tinge of pride. Look where he's sitting, at the footsteps where people's feet were washed. And Prakashananda Ji was sitting on a throne in the midst of everyone. And he understood that the glory of Mahaprabhu is even greater than the glories that he had heard. Now, to protect his own prestige, he called out to the Maharashtra Brahmin and said, "Why have you seated Swamiji there? Bring him here in the midst of the gathering." The Brahmana said, "Maharaji, this is the same Swamiji that you used to discuss about." Prakashanandaji said, "Oh, this is the same Sri Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bharati Sannyasi." He said, "Yes, Swamiji." "Okay, thank you for coming. But Swamiji, why are you seated there? Come and sit with us. It does not suit you to sit there." The Lord said softly, "See how the heart of a devotee is. How soft the heart of devotees is. The Lord comes as a God. When He comes in the form of God, it is a different thing. But when He comes in the form of His own devotee, His glory is even greater. It cannot be described." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I am fallen, and you can see yourself that my mood is also not what a sannyasi should be. How can I sit amongst great learned people like yourself? I am not qualified." What humble words!
परिचय असमय अधम सखा सुनो मोहू पर रख जीव ही कान में शब्द पढ़ रहे हैं अभी तक
This is the first time they had heard the Lord. His words were as if somebody was chanting a mantra to steal their minds. Somebody is subduing them. Prakashanandaji held onto his throne 2 or 3 times as if to get up. He wanted to run and grab the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but controlled himself many times because of his position and pride. He got up and said, "Oh Swamiji, you should not be sitting there," and grabbed Mahaprabhu's hand. And just as he touched Mahaprabhu's hand, an amazing Anand, joy rose in his heart, the bliss that was not experienced by studying the Vedantas. He got that just by one touch of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's first attack was his action, second was his word, and the third was his touch. His mountain-like ego was turning to dust.
मिट्टी में मिलता जा रहा है ये है तिनकी संगति रहत जाति कुल मद सब ननसई.
Now he feels like crying. These 3 actions of Mahaprabhu, his actions, his words and his touch have defeated him. He feels like crying, but he's controlling himself. Just by the touch of Mahaprabhu, Prakashanand feels like crying out loudly and saying, "Oh Lord, have mercy on me," and wants to fall at his lotus feet. But then he looks at his disciples and thinks, what will they think? That the Guru has been defeated? We have not even started the debate. So he gathered his strength and got serious again and said, "You are our guest, please come," and seated him on his own throne. Mahaprabhu said, "Oh no, no, I cannot," and sat down lower. Mahaprabhu was very humble, and this was not just a show. This is actually how great devotees are. The devotees and the lovers of God, the great souls and the avatars of God have a natural humility. And Mahaprabhu was slowly chanting Krishna, Krishna. Think about it. Mahaprabhu is not a sadhaka, a spiritual practitioner, a devotee. I have seen my Gurudev as well. If he sits down with a couple of people, if they come, then you can see that his throat is chanting the name immediately. You can tell right away that he's chanting. And in these situations, we should not think of chanting with our mind. We should just focus on chanting somehow or the other. And Mahaprabhu is an acharya, therefore he's showing us by his actions. His lips were moving slowly and he was chanting. His lips were moving as if the petals of a lotus flower are moving because of a breeze. His lips are red like the bimba fruit and were moving. Now Prakashanandaji started to speak and said, "Swamiji, I have one complaint." His language has now changed. You can see he is changed. He said, "You have come to Kashi. I did not consider me yours, and you didn't stay in this ashram. This is your home. See, you are a sadhu. I am a sadhu. You should think of this as your home." Seeing his language and mood has changed. He said, "All this belongs to you. This is your house in Varanasi. I heard you were staying at somebody's house. it feels like you do not consider me your own. Prakashanand ji is saying this. Mahaprabhu looked at Prakashanand ji slowly like this and said, I consider you my own. That is why I have come here.
तो एक नो